For most of you, buying a house will most likely be the largest purchase you ever make in your entire life. If you haven't watched part 1, I highly recommend watching it first to learn about pre-qual and pre-approval first to figure out how much house you can afford before continuing with this video. Hello there, I'm Alex and this is Sinspiration, the only place where I inspire you to develop a growth mindset. This is part 2 of my series of telling you how to buy your first home. And today I'm gonna guide you from searching for your home all the way to making that offer and signing a purchase agreement. Let's jump right in. There are a gazillion factors to consider when purchasing a home. What I find useful is going on to Zillow and Redfin to take a look at different homes because they give you all the facts and figures so you can get a rough idea of what kind of house it is before you go tour it in person. Here are the factors that I recommend you consider, with the most important ones first. Location. We've all heard location, location, location. It is the most important factor when considering where to buy a house. Your location will determine your home price, your quality of life, your cost of living, your social circles, career, and how much your property will appreciate over time. Pick the cities that you are interested in living in. You also want to consider the school district that your kids will go to, how safe the neighborhood is, and how long the commute will be to work and grocery runs. Number of bedrooms and bathrooms. This is more important than square footage because this is how you'll actually utilize the house. Is it just for you and your spouse, or is it for your family with 1 kid, 2 kids, or maybe even more people? Also, think about how the bathrooms will be shared. 2 bed, 2 bath, 3 bed, 2.5 bath, and 4 bed, 3 bath seem to be the most popular. Type of house. Do you want a single family house, a townhouse, or a condo? Single family homes are typically the best investment out of the 3 because you actually own the land, so you can make additions or maybe even expand the house. They typically appreciate the most out of the 3, and they have the lowest homeowners association fees or HOA fees, which is like rent. You also get more privacy because you don't share walls with any of your neighbors. However, you will have higher maintenance costs, especially if you have a yard and other amenities like a pool. They are more expensive to purchase, and also they are usually older homes that might require some work or have older fashioned layouts. Townhouses are also solid investments because they still appreciate relatively well compared to single family homes, and you will own the lot of land, even though it is much smaller. These are much more affordable than single family homes, and you will have less maintenance costs and duties, but it still teaches you a lot of the skills. However, you will almost certainly have much higher HOA fees. These are used to maintain the community's common areas, especially if you have a park, clubhouse, gym, or pool. There is a greater sense of community with townhomes, probably due to the proximity. Also, you'll share at least 1 wall, but no more than 2 walls. Condos are most similar to apartments because you'll be owning a unit within a larger building and you'll be sharing multiple walls. Typically, you might share your ceiling or your floors as well. Condos cost the least out of the 3 types of homes, so it is a good entry point into ownership. Condos retain their value relatively well throughout the years, but don't expect them to appreciate as much as that of townhomes and single-family homes. The newly constructed condos are luxurious. Imagine picturing yourself at a resort, enjoying all those lounges and pools and gyms. Man, living that life. You might even have a concierge. However, it does come with a hefty HOA fee, which is like rent. It ranges from $700 to even $1,000, over $1,000 for some of the ones I've seen in San Francisco. Also, don't count on having your own garage. You'll most likely get a parking spot, 2 if you are very lucky, in a parking lot or in a shared garage. For the type of house, you'll also want to consider existing homes or new construction homes. Existing homes will most likely have a larger and better lots of land. It might also have a better layout, such as having the living room and kitchen all on the first floor for entertainment. However, it might require some more renovations. New construction homes, on the other hand, are 100% brand new, like the one that I'm living in right now. It typically comes with a 1-year fit and finish warranty that you can submit requests to the builder to fix any issues that come up. New construction homes now are typically 3 stories or maybe even 4 stories. So you might have a lot of stairs. Square footage. This will vary based on the number of bedrooms and bathrooms that you have. A general rule of thumb is you want to have 600 square feet per person for comfortable living. Layouts and features. This is with regards to the floor plans of the house. It might include the sizes of the rooms, whether there is a yard or balcony with certain amenities, the finishes on the cabinets or the flooring, the garage, whether it is side-by-side or tandem or a shared garage, even the washer and dryer, whether it's side-by-side or stacked. The list goes on. But a lot of these features were important to me as well. Or perhaps maybe your house has a great view of nature or the city, or is next to a waterfront. After you've identified your must-haves and wants in a house, you can start your home search using a site such as Zillow or Redfin. I typically start with a particular city that I'm interested in and then find homes in that area that are within my budget. Compile a list of a few homes that you're interested in and start scheduling tours. Some might even have open houses where you can meet with the real estate agents and they can answer all of your questions. You won't know if it's the house you want until you actually step inside of it. It's quite fascinating actually. Whenever you step inside a home, it should feel like home. That's how you know when it's the one. But pause for 1 second here. Before you make the offer on the home that you want, you need to do some homework. Ask for the disclosures or have your real estate agent request them from the seller. You want to review these disclosures very carefully so that you know if the house has any structural issues, unpermitted work, or natural hazards. For example, if the building is leaning at an angle and getting worse over time due to the foundation, or if someone died in the house, or it was a lab used to create drugs, or even contaminated with radiation, it may not be the best idea to buy this house, even at a major discount relative to the market. For natural hazards, the ones I find most important to pay attention to, at least in California, are flood and tsunami, fire, fault and earthquake, landslide, and liquefaction. You can find all this information in the Property Disclosure Report, or PDR. Ensure your home is not in a flood zone or tsunami area. You've seen what floods can do to homes, especially for New Orleans in 2004 and San Diego just recently. Places with higher elevations will be relatively safer from floods. If your home is in a flood zone, then you'll be required to pay for flood insurance. Floods will destroy your home. You also don't want your house to be in a high fire hazard area. Drier places with a lot of wild grass on hills are more susceptible to wildfires. A burned down house is gone. Being close to faults will likely mean that your house may be more prone to earthquakes. Earthquake insurance is extremely expensive, and most people don't get it. But without it, even though the chance is very small, an earthquake will cause your house to crumble and you won't get compensated for it. Liquefaction happens when loosely packed wet sediment in the ground lose their strength due to the ground shaking or earthquakes. If you live next to a marshland or a creek, your home will be more susceptible to liquefaction. This can cause your house to become uneven and maybe even sink. Landslides are also no good. If your house is next to a mountain or on a hill, it may be more susceptible to landslides, especially when it rains heavily or due to earthquakes. Your house will be buried or fall down the hill. Other hazards I didn't mention earlier include volcanoes, hurricanes, and tornadoes. While you may not be able to avoid all of these hazards, the key point is to be aware of them, accept them, and be prepared for them. There are other disclosures that go over what the property taxes and fees are, as well as give you other information such as what other construction projects might happen in your neighborhood, whether it's close to commercial areas or have mining operations. Take the time to go through the disclosures. Your real estate agent can help you, but it is your responsibility to know what these disclosures are and understand them. This is it! You found a house that is within your budget, meets all of your criteria, and you've accepted all the disclosures. Now is the time where you can make an offer and sign a contract going into escrow. For purchasing an existing home, it is strongly recommended to have your real estate agent do a comparative market analysis, CMA. It calculates your home's market value based on comparable recent home sales that are in your area, the same type of house, have the same number of bedrooms and bathrooms, square footage, etc. All of the factors that I mentioned earlier in this video. Your agent should help you determine a fair offer price and leave room for negotiation based on the current market. The offer should contain contingencies, which are conditions that the seller must meet in order for the sale to proceed. The most important ones are the appraisal and inspection. The appraisal is to ensure that you are not overpaying for the property. The inspection is to check if there are any major issues with the house. And I will tell you, there's always problems with the house, whether it's big or small. You can ask the seller to fix all of these issues or have them pay for it in order for the sale to move forward. If you are purchasing a new construction home from a builder, you can still make an offer, but in most cases, you'll end up paying the original price. Note that builders often give out incentives that you can use to reduce the price, put it towards closing costs, or they might even give you options such as cabinets, flooring, and appliances. The closing date should be set typically 30 to 45 days after signing the contract. It can take longer if the seller needs more time to fix those issues or if the home is not built yet. When you sign a contract, you'll need to bring in an earnest money deposit. It can range from a few $1,000s to around $30,000 for most homes. So have these funds ready. When you close on the home, your earnest money deposit will become a part of your down payment. If you do not close on your home outside of a contingency, you will not be getting your deposit back. So think very carefully when you sign the contract. According to the Zillow Group report, about 59% of buyers had to make multiple offers before successfully closing on a home. Don't be discouraged if it doesn't work out at first. You can also consider new construction homes, which are usually first come, first served or lottery based. This is part 2 of my How to Start Buying Your First Home series, where I go over how you start your home search. Everywhere from what you're looking for to all the considerations you need for the disclosures and how to make an offer and sign a purchase agreement to enter escrow. I hope this video answers most of your questions about how to start looking for a house so that you will not be overwhelmed when that time comes. There is still part 3 to this series, so like and subscribe to get updates. This video might not be for you, but it might be for your friends and family, so be sure to share it with them. Also, go to my page to check out more content on how to grow your mindset. You've been inspired today. Finding that home is like finding love. You'll know when it's the one.